you need to change your mind's reaction, it's doing nothing for you. Here's the law of love and attraction. I'll show you what I can do.
The area here that we're in now has all been kept as native. We haven't touched it. We don't even mow the grasses because we'll get Dianellas and pretty little orchids popping up, wildflowers throughout this little patch. So we tend to not touch it and just let the native grass. And it never seems to get overgrown. It's crazy. It's lovely. The one at the back here is Staculia quadrifida. Now, I'm just having a look here because there's a happy little grasshopper eating my tree. Look at him having a munch away. So, you know what? I think he can stay there. He's doing a bit of damage, but everybody needs to eat. The next tree we go to is the Fraser Island apple. And we can just see 2 lorikeets in there. We're not sure. We're getting quite close to them. But are they sleeping? Or we have had lorikeet sickness in Bundaberg where the birds are getting a paralysis and are not well. So we're hoping these guys are okay. We'll keep an eye on them today and make sure that they fly tonight. Now, Fraser Island apple has a fruit that you can eat, but to us it's quite astringent, so it'll take the moisture right out of your mouth. It's really, at the moment it's in flower, but it will have a round little berry on it. Yeah. So I've just seen a most beautiful little wasp, and we're encouraging our wasps to nest here, and hopefully we get more of them. There's so many insects at the moment. But that's what it's about. It's about encouraging your beneficial insects, so your diversity of plantings. And you can see there's lots, well, it's pretty hard to see, but I can see lots of things flying around in front of my face. So there's wasps and bees and moths. Oh, look at that size of that one. He looks gorgeous, doesn't he? It's definitely awesome to have so many insects. Now, I have bird baths, well, 3 bird baths in the garden, and encourage the birds all the time to come in and drink. We don't feed them though. We figure that we grow enough out here and enough flower on the plants to give them food. And in this one, you'll see I've got a flax, lily, and I've got more rosella and a little bit of comfrey, which is doing okay down in under there. Comfrey loves the shade, hates the heat. Very hard to grow here in the summer. Some pigeon pea popping up, and growing up this tree, which is another Corymbia, but this one's a pink one. The other one's red, is a Ceylon spinach. So we just grow that out here. We don't grow it in the garden. It's a bit of a rogue. It likes to take over. And when it seeds, it has multiple seeds. You can see it all popping up everywhere. So I use that as a bit of a chop and drop back into the soil. Okay, we bought a quandong, Elaeocarpus grandis, and I decided to plant it in the horse paddock. But Jack thought it was absolutely amazing, and he ate the top completely off it and then pulled it out of the ground. So I've replanted it, and you can see it's doing quite well now. But the only thing is it's got all this mark on it, and we're not really sure, but we think it might be a leaf cutter bee. If anybody can give us information on that one, we'd be welcome. So we have tomatoes in there with it. Quandongs like to feed from the roots of the acacias or the casuarinas, so that's why it's in here now, because it's right next to all our casuarinas. This is another small garden that I decided to put in. I just love trees, can't beat putting in a tree. This is Bersaria spinosa, so it's only going to grow small. It's a little bit spiky, I think. And yeah, it feels spiky. Their leaves are spiky. I think it's good for the small birds. So that's a native. Cosmos growing here. She's just flowering. And a callistemon. Couple of them. And we've got this one, which is an allspice tree. So the leaves are actually allspice. It smells like allspice, and that's what allspice is, the leaves of this tree. So we're looking at growing that and using it as a spice. In the middle of this garden bed, there's one which is native thyme, they call it. But and when you look at its tag, it has about 4 different names. But we'll call it native thyme. The hares loved it. They've absolutely decimated it. So it's just starting to grow back. And then under here, we have Electron Curiosus. But it's having a struggle, so it's under a net. Lots of things we'll have to net until they get quite bigger. But it's very tiny yet, so we'll learn a little bit more about that plant later.
You need to change your mind's reaction. It's to another